All right, guys. So your van build is done. Now what do you do with your life? All that spare time you got back, sleepless nights are over, just like way too much spare time. So look, I know what you're thinking, but before you turn to hard drugs, maybe that's a little extreme. I have for you 101 rando projects that we can get sunk into to keep ourselves out of trouble. And the first one today is this little baby. Ooh la la. Look how pretty. New baby. But I tell you what, right now, this baby is boring. So let's fix that. Back to Bunnings. Okay guys, welcome to my kitchen. This is our haul from Bunnings. So we've picked up some fluoros, which is what I'm going to use for the background of my design here. These paints are all acrylic, so this is going to work with the board. And then also acrylic for the top coat, which is going to put on very, very last. First up though, we've got this here. So we're going to use this sandpaper and our sanding block to just get this surface of this surfboard right back to like a nice texture so the paint has something to stick to. And I've got some painter's tape to mask off any areas that I want to keep white on the board. So that's the background, and then what I'm going to do is pair all of this with SurfPaints to do all the details that you're going to see that I added onto the top for the design and all the little like intricate pieces. But I will show you guys the SurfPaints later, and I also have a discount code for you guys if you want to use SurfPaints on your boards. Okay, let me also show you what I picked up from Aloha Manly Style. This awesome Lost boards. She's 5'10", 35 litre. Cute little fish bum there. Now, I was thoughtful of the design I'm going to do with my painting when I was picking these guys up. So we've got a little glue, which I'll add a little aqua in with the SurfPaints, and a nice bright pink and black and a little bit of orange on that stomp from our old friend Italo. Thanks, buddy. And Stoked. Yes, Stoked is what we're going to be. You vou ser stoked quando terminar esta plancha, né? So I paint a lot already, and you can see some of that behind here and all my gear and stuff. If you've never painted a board before, it can be a good idea to like maybe take a practice one and have a go of that. But you know, no worries, also just jump in. I definitely like to practice what I'm gonna write, like my detailed stuff here on things like this, a bit of cardboard or something like that, just to make sure that I'm doing the style that I want before I go and smash it straight onto a board. This is also a nice time to remind you that if this terrifies you after watching this video, and there's no way that you would do this to your board, but you still want this kind of style on your board, don't forget that I also do custom paint jobs for other people, and there is the link here. So shameless self-promotion, but I would love to paint all your boards and make them as cool as this one. Okay, sanding done. Let's wipe all of this off and get all the dust off with a nice clean wet paper towel. Oh, see that? No dust. Let's go. Okay, let's get this background on. Ready? Okay, this is the base coat done on the top, the background. Now I'm gonna let this dry, probably overnight. I'm gonna go to jiu-jitsu and come back and see how she looks. Maybe touch it up with anything else. And then if it's good, then we'll move on to the next step. So guys, I've woken up today so sick. Like I have the worst cough. It sounds awful. But silver lining, I mean, that is the perfect day to be working on this board. And also what arrived today, along with my sickness, is the SurfPaints. Yes! Right on time to be putting this layer on. So of course it's me, so we have the fluoro set. Let's take a peek at these, because they're probably the most important part. These are literally designed for putting on surfboards, so they're perfect for what we're doing. And this is the right way around, this is convenient. Okay, so these nibs can be taken in and out so that you can change the size of them. Actually, can you on these ones? No. Okay, I told a lie. You can change the nibs on all the other colours apparently, but it doesn't look like you can. This is the first fluoro pack I've got. Man, should I re-record this? Nah, go with authentic. Okay, so the fluoro pack looks like they're only the thick ends, but on the other colours that you get, there's like a few different, three I think other different ranges of colours that you can choose from. On those you can pull the nib out to have a thick end or a thin end, depending on what you want to design, draw if you're colouring in. You can also like colour a little bit with these and get the paint on there, and then use a brush or like a foam to like spread it out and kind of get more blending if you want. So if you don't want to have sharp lines or like you want to blend it out, kind of like you could make this background that I did using just these if you wanted to. So here's the options here, and they're similar to other pens that you get in this style in that you charge them up by pressing. So we're just going to squidge a little bit. I'll do it this way so you can see. See it coming through. See the ink coming through there? So give it a couple of squidges and then you'll see that soak down. And then it's good to have something like this, like, I don't know, cardboard or just some leftover stuff. You can do some testing to have a go of painting with these before you head straight onto your board. So I'm going to leave that because I don't like to overcharge them, so I'm just going to leave that sitting like this. Well, I'm going to put it here. Leave that sitting up like that. And then I'm going to show you what's going on with this board here. Let me flip you around. So I'm super happy with how this has come out, but I like in my stuff to put this, I deliberately put this like kind of flicky situation here. I like this, but I've got a few little areas where, I don't know if you can even see that. There you go. You can see that's kind of bubbled up a bit there. Really, it's not a huge deal because obviously this surface is all going to get covered in wax anyway, but I don't want any of these bubbly bits up, like especially on the edge of the board here, like where my legs are going to drag when I'm going from paddling to sitting and stuff. So I want to make sure that I get them back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this just super lightly with the 400, where is it? 400, just to get off any of these little bumps, just to make sure she's totally smooth. And then once that's smooth, I'm going to clean her off again, and then we're going to get into the details with the SurfPaints. Let's go. Let's do a little bit of painting with these guys, just so you can see how they work. So shake it, push it, write it, recap is what's written on the back here. I'm not going to shake it. I find that kind of goes everywhere. Maybe just a little bit of a shake. We've already charged this one up, and so what I'm going to be doing is putting some lettering on this board. I already know my style, but you can also get a big piece of cardboard the same size as your board, have a little tester on that, what you're going to draw, to match it up, and we're kind of pushing down really evenly. This is how I like to do, and it's coming on comes out really good. I like to have a piece of cardboard next to me, and before I put on the board, every time I'm going to touch that cardboard just to make sure that I'm not getting like streakiness like that or anything. And then obviously I can turn onto the side if I want to get thinner lines.
This is great because these colours fully match me. Like, see, that's what happens when they shake. Sometimes it gets everywhere. I charged that one up maybe a bit too much. This one's a little bit watery, so again, I'm just going to use my cardboard that's here on the side to get off any excess and make sure that it's exactly the thickness I want before I touch that board with this. But yeah, these colours are matching the background colours. Ooh, this pink is great. Ooh, this pink is awesome. So nice. And this orange, are you going to match too? Oh, yes, it matches perfectly. This is great. So good. Literally. Ooh, green's nice. Okay. Good to know. Okay, cool. So, let's go. Okay, I had to move around into the shade, it got sunny. But I'm working on my happy word here, and I'm putting like a little outline around the edge of this, as you can see. So the best thing you can do is in between each color, I'm gonna butt up another color next to this one, but the best thing to do is in between each color that's gonna go close to one another, wait until it's perfectly dry. Don't touch the two colors together when they're wet if you don't want them to blend. So if you want some nice crisp lines, be patient, do something with your time, let it dry in between rounds, and just wait it out. It's worth it. Touch dry in 20 minutes, and then it is going to be super tempting to flip it over and start painting the back. Do not be tempted by this. Go do whatever it is that you do in your life other than this for 24 hours and then flip it over, because trust me, if you flip it over when it's touch dry, you're going to, I don't know, ding it up, scratch it, get something stuck on it, you're going to hate yourself. Do not touch. Leave it to dry. See you in 24. happy guy to dry, I'm just going to use some of the painter's tape and tape up these little holes here so that I don't get any paint in here tomorrow after this is dry and I do the clear top coat on the back.
So I ended up doing 3 coats of paint with the clear coat on these guys. But in the end, I think that the time it took me to do the paint was totally worth it for this glossy finish. Check it out.